What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Thomas, and welcome to International World Water Day, which we are celebrating. And what I'm celebrating is that every couple of months, I get to have one of my absolute favorite human beings co-hosting with me. And I know she's one of your favorite human beings. And of course, I'm talking about Kristen Hoffman. Kristen just always brightens up our world, not just through her beautiful music, but just through her being. And it turns out that she has been dedicated to oceans for a long, long time. So when we were talking about next show to do, she said, Scott, can we do International World Oceans Day? I said, yes. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to you to tell us a little bit more about today and then your relationship to the ocean.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott, and welcome everyone celebrating World Oceans Day. When I saw it aligned with Saturday, I said, wow, this is divine timing. And here we are. I think we all, each one of us, has a deep connection to the ocean in some way, shape, or form. And so as we begin today, maybe go into your memories and just remember, call forward an experience that you've had with the ocean or an ocean creature, and just really bring that into the forefront of your memory and into your heart. As we experience music and speakers, we can really celebrate our connection to the ocean. The ocean affects each one of our lives in such a profound way, just beginning with the fact that about 70% of the oxygen that we breathe actually comes from the ocean. I think this is a fact that a lot of people are not actually aware of, but about 70% of the oxygen we are breathing comes from the ocean. So in alignment with that, it is so important that we take care of our oceans. Beyond oxygen, the oceans cover most of our planet and are living, breathing spaces with so many beautiful beings, from sharks to dolphins to whales to plankton and little sea snails and sea turtles. It is just an incredible. Oh, and coral. Coral is actually alive. A lot of people don't realize this. Coral is a living being as well. And I feel it's amazing. It's this world that coexists on our planet that we forget is really living and breathing side by side on the same planet as we are. It's a beautiful mystery. So much of the ocean has not even been explored. There is so much to learn and so much to tune into. So today, we're just going to send our healing prayers to the ocean. We are at a time where the ocean really needs our care. And I just want to invite you. I know these days it can become overwhelming to learn some of the effects at the hand of humans that the ocean is actually going through, the intense impact. And when we really tune into some of the destruction of our oceans, it can be very overwhelming. But on World Oceans Day, and whenever I share my Song for the Ocean around the world, I really encourage people, tune into something that you can do. Rather than feeling overwhelmed, use this day as an opportunity to re-spark your connection to the ocean and think about it could be the most simple way that you can be a steward for our oceans in your daily life and as you move forward. It might be organizing a monthly beach cleanup, or even once a year. It might be just sharing stories about the ocean with friends and family. It might be going on an Arctic adventure. We're going to hear about an incredible scientist later who does a lot of work in the Arctic. There are so many ways that you can tune more deeply into the ocean, and I just invite you to feel inspired today and let your visions key you into what your role is. Okay, blessings. I'm really looking forward to this show.
Well, there's something really, really special, Kristen. We've really become a true community, a real family. And sometimes in family, people go through health challenges, and we pray for them, we support them. And we recently, of course, had a lot of support for Eleanor Joy. Well, someone that we've been praying for almost every week is with us today. Is someone that is one of the most beloved members of our Global Peace Tribe. And I'm so happy to bring Piper Dellums onto the screen and into our room because we love Piper so much. And Piper, we've been praying for you almost every week. Always people are sending me messages, how's Piper? Let us know what's going on with Piper. And not only is Piper with us, and we'll hear from her in a minute right now. She, in addition to all that she's dealing with, she created an amazing new film that we're going to watch.
Yes.
But first of all, Piper, welcome back, and tell your family how you're doing and what's alive for you.
Well, I want to say hello to my family. First of all, I'm in love with Kristen. I'm in love with Scott Omashar. I'm in love with you. And I see Maureen. And I have been thinking about Connie every minute, Connie, because I know that you and I are on the same, in doing the same waltz. And just want you to know that you're in my heart every moment. What's been going on with me? I made a beautiful decision. I made a beautiful decision for quality of life. I knew Scott was going to do this to me, so I'm going to try not to shed tears. Only because in order to remove my tumors, especially, darn it, the ones attached to my spine and the other, it's just too dangerous. And it will leave me with an inability to truly be able to function. So I made this beautiful decision that Scott knew about a few weeks ago for quality of life. And I've been doing beautiful healings with the community. Deborah's healing my body. And I know that I'm going to continue to heal. And I'm waiting for the miracle of God. And I know that it's already present. I'm already saying that I'm healed. And making this film, and thank you, Scott and Kristen, reminding myself of the awe and wonder and beauty of the ocean, for she is the great mother. She reminds me of birthing my own children. She reminds me of sacred women around the world. She even reminds me of our pain and our suffering when she is poisoned and when she is toxified, when she is adored. And so this is a blessing to be here, a blessing to all the women of the world and our sacred temples that, do hold fear and pain and trauma and dis-ease, but also hope and courage and strength and rebirth. So today I'm rebirthing with all of you, my family, and that's what this film is going to hopefully show you.
Mhm.
Man, Scott, you do this every time.
Oh.
Your tears are welcome. And I'm actually going to pin you for a moment. So we're just seeing you. And I want to ask our Global Peace Tribe family to just take a minute and, in your own unique way, tap into your own inner healer, your own inner Christ consciousness, or whatever it may be, and send maximum grace to our beloved Piper. Maximum grace to our beloved Piper. maximum grace to our beloved Piper. Thank you, Piper. Thank you for being the incredible inspiration that you are to us. Thank you for choosing life and choosing to be in this world at this time, because you and Kristen and many of the people watching are truly earth angels. And so thank you for being in the body, as challenging as it is. And thank you for all that you are to us. We love you very much.
I feel your love every day, and every day it washes over and through me. So thank you for that profound love from all of you every day.
Love you
And
so
now
much,
we
Piper.
get to take a look at this amazing video that she just made for us. It's really quite beautiful. So here we go. Another Piper Dellums creation
With Gary Malkin.
with beloved Gary Malkin, who was just on our show on Wednesday night.
Oh my goodness.
Your tears are okay, because I got tears now. What finished me off was seeing at the end that beautiful image of you in the water. That's where
Medicine for the soul, Piper. You create divine medicine for the soul. Thank you for being a living, breathing gift to our lived experiences and our soul through body lived experiences. I feel you enlivening my cellular being, and I feel you enlivening my spirit.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Scott.
Love you.
I love you.
we're not going to let you go quite yet. There's so many comments coming in, so I'm only going to read a few of the comments coming in. Kathy writes, Mother Gaia is so breathtaking. Thank you for this video.
Mm.
Orgine writes, I wish this were shown around the world. I am imagining her pristine and clean again. Dr. Laura writes, Piper, you are life itself. So how could that be lessened in any way right now? You are the Alpha and Omega. You are the stars, the sun, and the moon. You are the oceans and the land and the air. You are the breath and the beauty. Simply open up and release your divine radiant health from the spark of God in every cell of your body. Love, 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 from Dr. Laura.
Thank you, Dr.
Ayada writes, Beloved Piper, I am both awestruck and humbled by this powerful visual medicine, along with the musical medicine from our beloved Gary Malkin. As I watched, I had the sense that all this energy of our natural world is actually reaching out to you and healing you, restoring you to wholeness. I will hold that vision. Janice writes, Piper, Mother Gaia is so very proud of you. You are her oceans. You are all that she is. And that's about 1/3 of the comment.
So beautiful.
I can't even keep up with them. They're flying in so fast.
Thank you. Thank you to my beautiful family. I love you all so much. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share that, Scott and Kristen.
Love you
Working
so
with me
much.
through that process.
Wow.
And as we continue to hold her in our healing, I also want to remind people that green energy is very helpful. And a while back when this first started, I started a GoFundMe for Piper, and I want to get it going again. So I've put the link into the chat box, support for Piper Dellums, and thank you for those of you who have donated previously. For those of you watching on Facebook, if you go to my Facebook page, and it's easy to find me, Scott Katamas, or go to the Love Coach Academy page, I will also post this and pin it to the top. So that's how you can find it. And let us support Piper with our prayers, but also with our green energy, please. This is very, very important that we provide. And know that even the smallest donation means something, because even if it's a small donation, it means that you took the time to send her a love offering, to send her a love gift. And that means a lot to Piper. It means a lot to any of us when we're going through a challenging time. So please, 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 whatever you can, send her some green love
Wow,
as well.
Scott. Thank you. I love you all. This is a beautiful evening. I have to just say to Maureen, I'm so happy to know that love opened up your heart. I know that you had a heart attack, and I'm looking at you now, and I'm so grateful. And your healing feels like it's going to be the healing for all of us. Look at this smile. So I'm overjoyed to see you here and overjoyed to see Connie here. Because of this love tribe, we're all going to be okay.
Yes, we're here for each other. I'm here for you, Piper.
I love you. I love you, Scott.
Yeah.
I love you,
Well,
Chris.
Piper, since you kind of introduced Maureen, we're just, which is perfect. We had her on a little bit later on in the agenda, but briefly, we just want to welcome Maureen back to our Global Peace Tribe. Many of you heard the story because we shared it on Wednesday night. And we shared it also on last Saturday night about while she was in Ibiza, she had a heart attack. And look at, it's been what, 2 weeks? And look at you, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And the last surgery was a week ago, yesterday. So, yes. And so I had the last procedure Friday, and that was the most miraculous one because of all the love and all the prayers and all the support from our whole global tribe and all of its various groups. And live on the beach in Ibiza and at the conference at the Holo movement. It was spectacular. I could so feel it so strongly. And when they went on the second surgery, because on the sonogram they couldn't find anything, and that puzzled them, so they had to go in direct. So that saved me a whole week of waiting, by the way, which was awesome. And so they went in, found nothing, and said, "You're good to go." They kicked me out of the hospital 3 hours later after the surgery, and there's 24 to 48-hour recovery. However, with all my beautiful support in Ibiza, I sure know how to have a heart attack. Right place, right time, right people. And I am so blessed and so grateful. So I'm happy. Thank you so much, Scott, for the opportunity to thank everybody for all of their love and their prayers. It's powerful beyond measure, and for all of us. So I'm your divine hope, Piper, and we know each other. So more to come. More of the miraculous, because it's time for the miraculous. Anybody agree with me? We are the miracle.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm going to go to gallery view. Let's all just send twinkles of appreciation to Piper and to Maureen. What a beautiful global peace tribe we are all blessed to be a part of. We're very, very blessed. Thank you for being who you both are. And I'm going to put the spotlight back on beloved Kristen to introduce our next presenter.
Well, our next presenter is a very special being in my life, and I think most of you have met her a few times. Keishi Chai is back with us today to share around her project and work called Ocean Stories. Keishi has been an incredible supporter of the oceans over quite a few years now, really gathering together all different beautiful beings to dance and express stories of the ocean, how to really raise awareness for ocean pollution. What do we do? How do we call that into our attention? And especially through movement, through getting us into motion around the ocean. She has also recently launched a series called Nature Stories. So Keishi's really doing a lot these days to call our attention in to these stories around nature, around the oceans, so that we can be reactivated through this powerful vehicle of the arts. And I'll turn it over to Keishi. Love you so much, and I'm so grateful to be hearing about your incredible work.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Scott. As always, such a privilege to share space with you. And I'm really grateful to have met Piper now and heard a little bit about your story. Maureen, I'm glad you're still with us. And I am honored to be able to share a little bit about what I'm doing. I have been working on ocean stories since 2017, and I've collaborated with Kristen since 2009 through a show called Pure Reflections Beauty Reimagined. So that was about learning to accept your reflection in the mirror, and that was about body image. And knowing that Kristen is also really in alignment with ocean conservation and using the arts to propel forward change. She's been somebody that's greatly inspired me, and her Song for the Ocean, which is incredible, that is featured in my Nature Stories project. And that is a show about the forests, about the oceans, about the creatures that inhabit our planet, about the shift from fossil fuels to renewable energy. I've been rolling that out in California and doing that in collaboration with scientists as well. And it's multidisciplinary. There's dance and video projection and song as well. The next iteration of it will be rolled out at Stern Grove Festival in San Francisco on July 21st. And that will be at the Kids Zone. So for those who live in New York City, as I do, Stern Grove Festival is a little bit like Summer Stage. So I'm really excited that they have welcomed me into their festival to help bring awareness about the ocean, about the planet and the environment. And today for World Ocean Day, I thought that I could just take you back to my Ocean Stories project when I rolled it out in Bali in 2018, just to have a sense of what that looked like. So I'm just going to share my screen. So this took place in the Anika Linden Center, and it was in partnership with the Puspati organization. They rehabilitate disabled Balinese who lose limbs and need help with walking again. And we put together ocean stories inside the Anika Linden Center. And we showcase a lot of beautiful art from local artisans using upcycled material like flip-flops here to make into manta rays. So I'll just make this larger so you can see better. So this is some beautiful art that was hanging from the ceiling. And we were featuring this manta ray here with flip-flops that had been discarded and put into the trash. And we had a volunteer from a local beach cleanup organization called Trash Hero, and they're very active around the Indonesian area. And they were leading us in an upcycling workshop where we were basically learning how to weave with discarded coffee wrappers. And that's the wonderful artist from Trash Hero who was teaching us. And these discarded coffee wrappers can be upcycled and made into bags, into baskets, as well as beautiful headpieces that were later performed that night. When I travel somewhere, I usually like to work in collaboration with the locals and the indigenous. So I was really lucky to meet Evie. She's one of the top Balinese dancers in Bali. And she comes from many generations of dancers, of musicians. So this is an example of a 10-year-old girl who's missing her leg and she's still dancing. So that was really, really moving. And she opened our show. And these are some local Balinese dancers that were wearing the upcycled hats made from discarded coffee wrappers. And we had this beautiful dancer, Allison, who is representing the spirit of the ocean. And that crown is made from water bottles. And just we also had crabs. I was a jellyfish. We had an octopus and nudibranch, seaweed. We also had a fashion show with upcycled clothes from a famous Balinese designer. And we featured some of the disabled Balinese that were part of Puspadi, and they were our models. And they were also showcasing some of the upcycled baskets there. So it was really, really exciting to have them on the catwalk. And really moving also. Yeah. And the show concluded with a big gamelan display with 3 generations, grandkids, Evie and her husband and her parents and their aunts and uncles. Yeah, so that's one version of Ocean Stories in Bali. I've also rolled it out in Singapore, in Australia. I was in Cairns last year. Cairns is where the Great Barrier Reef meets the Daintree Rainforest. And that was in conjunction with some scientists as well. With that, I want to dance a little bit for you today. I see that time is flying. And the song I'm going to dance to is called Wave. It's by an Iranian musician called Murnam Rastagadi. Last Sunday, I organized a Persian night in New York City, and she was the featured musician. I like this song because it's in a 3/4 rhythm, so it's very circular. It's about 3 minutes, so I'll take you out on that. Feel free to dance with me.
go to gallery view for us to give her a big twinkle. Let's all give Casey. She is the dancer for the Global Peace Tribe. There's no one else who dances like Casey Chai, and it was
Wow.
beautiful to see those of you getting up and dancing with her. And I'm going to bring her good friend Kristen back on.
Oh, Casey, that was absolutely amazing. And I had never seen your pictures from your work in Bali. That was absolutely inspiring on such deep levels. And you should go back and check the chat because people were very moved. It just goes to show what can happen when we do something like upcycle plastic. We can bring beauty back into the world. And I'm just so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for all of the times we've gotten to collaborate around the ocean. And thank you for all you do in the world. I look forward to all of the new expressions that I know you're going to be birthing soon. Blessings. Love you.
I want to read a few of the comments. They're flying in. So again, everybody, I can only read a few. But Anne writes, beautiful movement. Sue writes, what beautiful pictures and such a beautiful dancer. Morgine writes, the things that were made, that they made were so amazing, so beautiful. Thank you. And just about everybody's saying beautiful. Dorina Joy found a perfect poster. Dance with the waves, move with the sea, let the rhythm of the water set your soul free. So isn't that a perfect poster for Casey and for tonight and what we're doing? And people can learn much more about Casey by going to her website. And there she is on her front page website. There's that wonderful headdress made out of recycled bottles. And this is where you can learn all about Casey, all that she's doing, all about her different nature stories. Of course, today she focused on oceans, but she has nature stories on several different levels. So Casey, thank you so much for who you are in our world and in our awakening world.
Always a pleasure to reconnect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Casey.
Oh, this show's just off to such an amazing start. Just my heart's bursting over. And now comes a very special moment, and I'm going to turn it over to Kristen to share with us next.
Oh, thank you, Scott. I love your shirt, by the way. You look like you are adorning an ocean. Beautiful.
You know, we just before we were so busy, and all of a sudden I realized I hadn't changed my shirt. I didn't know what I was going to wear, and I saw this. It looks kind of like the ocean. So here we go.
Total perfection. Well, for many of you, this may be brand new. I think that I've shared before, but I've been singing and traveling with a project called Bella Gaia, which was created by director Kenji Williams. For the past 13 years, we've been traveling around the world. And Bella Gaia was created in conjunction with NASA. And most of the show, you're looking from outer space back at the Earth and seeing up-to-date data visualizations of what's going on our living, breathing planet. And then at different points, you zoom in and you land on different parts of the planet and you experience live music and dance from various cultures. And at one point, you zoom in and you go a little bit deeper and you land in the depths of the ocean. And I thought it would be fun to share Bella Gaia. This is called Bella Gaia Ocean's Blood, and this is one of my favorite parts of the show. So I'm going to just get my video ready, and I hope you enjoy. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. And for those of you whose interest is piqued, please visit bellagaia.com to find out more. It's been such a great honor to travel and be a part of such a life-changing project over the past 13 years. And if you're just finding out about it, please tune in and see. You can look up and see. We go to all different places, and hopefully there will be a live show around you soon. And coming on next, we have a very special musical guest, and I think Scott's going to tell us about Allison.
Yeah, thank you. And again, let's just all take a moment
Oh,
and appreciate that amazingly beautiful, beautiful video. Everything you do, Kristen, is so much love, so much class, so much quality. One of the things I've often said about Kristen is she is, of all the people I've ever met, and I've been around artists all my life, she balances being a perfectionist and being kind. Amazing. Most people that are as perfectionistic as Kristen are not always so kind. And you are masterful at kindly letting me know how I can improve things.
oh, I love you, Scott. We're in a great. We weave so beautifully together, and yeah, as an artist, I always have a vision, and I'm sure at times that vision can push some buttons, but I'm so grateful for you and for our ability to weave and share in the ways we do through
Likewise.
all these years now. Yeah.
I know, and we're just getting started. Um,
We
there
are.
are at
We
least
are.
a dozen comments that have come in about what you just presented. So savor those, and we get to meet a new friend. This is Allison Eden, and Allison was referred to us by our friends at Bhakti Fest. We're going to be doing an entire show promoting Bhakti Fest next month, and everyone that comes to Bhakti Fest we love. And so welcome, Allison, to the
Thank you.
Awakening World. And how's your experience with the show been so far?
Scott, this has been so beautiful. I feel like I'm being healed watching all these beautiful presentations. Such beautiful divine feminine energy, and this is exactly what the world needs right now, is this heart and these intentions and prayers for healing. So thank you for creating this community, and I'm honored to join you today. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. And Allison is remarkable. We're going to, of course, get to experience some music in kirtan with her right now. But she is a Reiki level 3 master trainer and teacher, certified in that, obviously. She does Akashic Records practitioner training. She does yin and restorative yoga. She does chakra balancing, mindfulness meditation, and multidimensional channeling. So she is clearly a multidimensional Renaissance woman, and just a perfect guest, and hopefully an ongoing part of the Global Peace Tribe now.
Oh, well, the honor is mine. Thank you again. I thought that tonight that we could tune into the power of mantra and the ability that mantra sound and intentions can bind to the molecules of water to bring healing energy to the waters, and then from there the water is allowing these words loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Let's send this one out to all the beings inside the water. The dolphins, the whales, the fish, the coral, and even all the ethereal beings, the ocean devas and the ocean spirits. All these beings work together to keep the ocean in balance, harmony on our planet. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta loka samasta sukino bhavantu. May my actions contribute to the betterment of all, and may my actions contribute to the betterment of all. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Last one. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Let's breathe in for a nice deep om. Just holding the intentions in our hearts for this balance, harmony, healing of our oceans, renewal, and lots of gratitude. Namaste.
Namaste, and thank you so much. Let's just stay with that beautiful space that you've created. Bring up my co-host.
Oh, that was so beautiful, and just feeling in such a deep peace in my inner ocean, in the heart of my inner ocean. Thank you so much, Allison.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much.
Allison's going to be back for another song a little bit later. But a reminder, I've put her card into the chat box. And for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, her website is her name, Allison, A-L-L, notice there's two L's, A-L-L-I-S-O-N, Eaton, EATON.com, AllisonEaton.com. And that's where you can learn all about her and all the amazing and beautiful things that she provides. And Allison, so wonderful to have you with us, and we'll see you in just a few minutes.
See you soon.
Thank you, Allison.
You're so welcome.
Oh, what a beautiful show. I am feeling very inspired. And we're about to get even more inspired, my friends. Really inspired. Actually, the awe level is about to go up so many decibels. And I say awe, and our next guest is Michael Awe. I think there's no coincidence that he has this last name, because his work in the world and with the oceans is nothing less than awe-amazing, awe-inspiring. Awe is the right word that comes to mind when I think of Michael. And I want to give him a proper welcome. Welcome, Michael. I love you so much, and it's such an honor to have you here. And I want to just give you a
thank you for having me. Thank you.
I hug you. It's been a little while, and just so happy to see you again. I was trying to actually remember when Michael and I first met. I'm pretty sure that it was when Michael used my song for the ocean to help make shark finning illegal in Brunei. Is that right, Michael?
Yes, I was hunting you, stalking you for many years. 2013. Yeah, 10 years, 11 years now, yes.
Yeah, we've known each other for a while. And not only is Michael's work in the world extraordinary, but he's such a loving and kind human who just steps in and says, yes, I'm going to do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. You have a project. Let's do it. And we've gotten to weave together a few different times. Michael actually was the one who, this is a shot from the Song for the Ocean video right behind me. And Michael and I filmed this video, which you're going to see in a bit, in Manado. And he's doing just such beautiful work in the world. But I want to just actually read a little bio so that you can get a little taste. Michael Ah is a wildlife photographer, explorer, and an ocean advocate. He is the principal author of 38 and co-author of 8 books about the ocean, as well as the founder of Ocean Geographic and Asian Geographic magazines. And then I just wanted to name a few of his incredible ocean projects. He initiated the Napoleon Wrasse Protection Program in the Maldives, Turtle Nest Adoption Program in Indonesia, and Say No to Shark Fins campaign in Southeast Asia, including a project to remove shark fins from restaurants in Singapore. For years, Michael was the project director for the Elysium Epic Additions to the Antarctic and Arctic regions with 57 and 66 team members respectively. And we're going to hear a lot about that today. You will also see and get to experience some of Michael's work. Michael's work on environmental issues and natural history have been featured in BBC Wildlife, National Geographic, Asian Geographic, GEO, Underwater Geographic, Nature Focus, Action Asia, Scuba Diver, Smithsonian Magazine, Ocean Realm, Times, you get it. They go on and on and on. His photographs have received more than 50 awards from several international organizations, including the prestigious Nikon International Photo Contest on multiple occasions. You get a little just taste of the scope of Michael Ah. And Michael, I'm so grateful you could come on. I know World Oceans Day is a very busy day for you, so thank you for making time to be here with the Global Peace Tribe. And I think you're going to be sharing about your work in the Arctic, and I just can't wait to experience. So I'll let you take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine, for that introductions. I'm going to share some work, my latest work and concern about the Arctic and also the Antarctic. It's not pretty pictures, but it's necessary to share the message so that everybody can speak out for the animals that cannot speak and the environment that has no voices, but we can hear them. But I need to share it, but so beware, it can be upsetting. But before I do that, I've just finished a short film for release in China to encourage people to have a great affinity with sharks. And I shot this last year. I just finished making the movie. It has not been released yet. It has a preview in Singapore recently. So you guys are the second time, to be seeing in public. And of course, we hope you can all share it with the world after I show this short film of 6 to 7 minutes. Then I will show you some pictures from the Antarctic and Arctic as we see it in the last couple of years. So if I may, I'm not sure you'll play too well in sharing screen, but let me see what I can share screen here. Are you seeing my screen here now? Yes, you are. So I'm going to play this video. Yes. And it's about 6, 7 minutes. Now I'll come back to some pictures, right? I hope it works.
Michael, can you stop it and start it again and choose share audio?
Okay. Where do I do that? Share audio?
So maybe I think you're going to have to go, stop the share. And when you choose it, you'll want to select share audio. I believe it's at the bottom if you're just doing regular sharing. Scott, do you want to, let's see, basic. I'm just checking.
Share audio?
Yeah, when you click share screen, you'll see to the right-hand side. Do you see where it says options on the far right-hand side when you're when the box comes up?
Okay.
When you click share screen and it gives you kind of the options of what to share. Do you see on the right-hand side, it gives options and one of them says share sound?
Yes, shall I click that?
Yes, click that. Great.
Okay.
And then give it a go and we should be okay.
Let's try it again. You have sound?
Perfect.
You got it?
167 persons are killed by another person. For every one person killed by shark, we murder 16.7 million sharks. 100 million sharks are killed by human each year. This number far exceeds the shark population's ability to reproduce.
I'm back. Yeah, that is shot and tied in a while last year. So performed in a while with this dancer from Taiwan, and she's almost blind in the water because she can't see without a mask. But yeah, appreciate that it's a difficult shoot over 6 days period, and this will be streamed over in China this year. We hope to get as many audience as possible, and hope to raise people awareness or an affinity and love for sharks. So I'm going to share screen again with pictures from the Antarctic. Let me just get my PowerPoint in place first. Let me just see. What's my PowerPoint? Show from the beginning. Can you see my screen now? No?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I'm going to share screen protocol. Share. How do you go now?
Now we can see.
Okay, this is a very short extract on the last segment of my talk I usually give this year. The last segment of this talk is called Pole to Pole. So let me move on with this show. Okay, before we get to the Antarctic and Arctic, there are a few pictures about the open water and deep water. And I'd like to introduce everyone to the immortal jellyfish. If there's one animal that can live forever and ever and ever on this planet, is this jellyfish. Is immortal. So what my immortal is that they never die. If anyone at any one time they're injured or hurt, they can press a button and reset itself. It's quite an amazing animal. So theoretically, that since the beginning of time on Earth, 3 over billion years ago, this jellyfish that have lived is probably still living in our oceans. So if it does die, you disintegrate and then regenerate again and live and regenerate into another jellyfish. So move on to the Antarctic, which I've been there 10 times over the last 20 years. I'm going to quickly show you a picture that I've shot in the last 20 years first, from 2003. And this is what we see. Expansive sea ice platform and huge, humongous building size, block size iceberg that carved off from the main glaciers in the early 2000, when I first went there in 2003. You see very clean, pure ice like this. Then you look at this background. Look at this background of these adult penguins. It's pure white and blue, and also an ice shelf, nice clean ice shelf. Then in 2010, when we did our first Elysium expedition to the Antarctic Peninsula with 57 expedition members to document following the footstep of Shackleton. It's a 20-day trip, and we still see huge iceberg like this and clean snowfield and mountains covered with huge expanse of snow and ice. You can see it's very pure, very clean ice. And then in one location, we did about 20 landing. In one location, we see little algae growth of green and red like this. Now, this is not new. In fact, they see this in Shackleton time, in the early 1900s, but it's very rare. So in our time in 2010, after 20 overlanding, we saw this on one occasion. And then we tried to sail down to the Antarctic Sound one morning towards the Weddell Sea. We couldn't get through there because it was that ice shelf, the ice platform, we couldn't get through it. And we have to turn back. So this is exactly what it looks like. Fast forward to 2023, last year, we have this expedition called ACE, Antarctic Climate Expedition. We have 110 people with us. And our idea of this expedition is to go down there with scientists, artists, musicians, and come up with resolutions for the planet, for our world, to take us to net zero by 2035. So that's the expedition sailing through the Lemire Channel with our expedition jacket going through on the ship called the Sylvia O. We did 10 trawls of microplastics. Out of the 10 trawls, every single trawl, we found microplastics in the water. And when the report came back, there's not only microplastic in the water, there's also microplastic in the air. I can share a link to the expedition report later on if you'd like to see the expedition report. But so in other words, the whale, the penguins, each one of us are ingesting microplastic in the air we breathe. On every trawl, we found that. Now, what's fascinating here is on the picture on the left, Making USA, is an expedition we did in Raja Ampat in the middle of the Coral Triangle in Indonesia. During the microplastic trawl in 2018, we recovered a label called Making USA. Thousands of miles down south last year on the same trawl, we pick up another label like this. So can you imagine between the equator, where Raja Ampat is, and all the way down to the Antarctic, how many of these labels are there in the oceans? This little plastic label. It just blew your mind away that, you know, what's happening in our ocean. Rainbow in the Antarctic. One team member caught this picture. We went and photographed it, and we call it the saddest rainbow on our planet. Rainbow is supposed to be, beautiful. Why is it the saddest rainbow? It reflects that tell us that Antarctic is getting warmer and getting more humid, and that's why more rain, and that's why you have rainbows. And then every landing we did last year, we see scene like this. We call it watermelon snow, green, red algae. It's Antarctic that pictures like this that the main press will not publish. Tourist paper brochure will not publish this picture because it's not the Antarctic they want you to see. But this picture is captured by us. We have video, we have recording that show this picture like this, that the Antarctic is being decimated by algae. And this caused the snow to become darker and absorb more heat, actually procrastinate the heating. But this animal, the penguin, they have no idea what's happening. It exaggerates the melt and also surface temperature as well. Snow is slushy. In other words, it melts when it hits the ground. And it also become basically exaggerate the entire melt. That's what's going on down there. And last year, at this time, when we were there, it was the hottest time of the year ever recorded in the Antarctic Peninsula, and also the shortest ice platform ever recorded in record when they start recording data in the Antarctic for the last 50 years. So seen like this, you see from a distance, is this the Antarctic? This picture like this you'll never see. So when we did the exhibition last year, June, there's only one paper that picked it up and put it on the front page of the paper, and that was in the Straits Times in Singapore. This picture is not from me, it's from a young little girl. She was 12 years old during the expedition. She captured this single penguin, the chinstrap penguin, over this expanse of algae-covered snow. what is in the mind of this penguin. What I mean, he can't speak, but they do not know what's happening to the home. So this year in March, when I gave a talk in April, global temperature was record broken for 10 months in a row. We're talking about temperature that's past the acceptable level of 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level for 12 months. I think we're past the tipping point. And if those of you who know about the Paris Agreement, we want to keep global temperature below 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2099. But we're already at the end. We're already past the tipping point as of this year. So what we're going to do, the polar bear have a headache. In real-life polar bear, there's nowhere north for them to go. And to take a picture like this, with a polar bear that have to cool himself or herself with a few slab of ice, it's really hard to take. I mean, I was shocked. I sat there for 10, 15 minutes and wondering what's in the mind of this polar bear. On Bird Cliff, we were talking about, 300-foot high face cliff like this, and a small young bear having to hike up this cliff to feed on bird eggs. It's like equivalent to you having a couple of chips and having to skirt it for 2-3 hours because there's no more sea ice, especially in the early summer month. So for them to survive, they hike Bird Cliff at the risk of falling down the cliff, and just for a few chips. And in the end, you get many dead polar bears. So scientists predict by end of 2030, 90% of polar bear in the wild will be gone. And perhaps end of this century, the only place to see polar bear will be in the zoo. So the Arctic is the front line of climate change. I can always say that in the Arctic, you will see climate change in motions. So we have lost 80% of the ice shelf in the Arctic. In other words, North Pole will become a sea. But when you lose sea ice, you lose polar bear can't get the food, and not just the polar bear at risk. We are talking about algae like this, thousands of species of algae that live beneath sea ice. Sea ice is like an equivalent of coral reefs. So when you lose the sea ice, you lose the coral reef of the polar region. All the animals that thrive and live and sustain by these algae will have no food to live on. So you're losing 1,000 of animals that actually thrive beneath the Arctic and Antarctic oceans when you lose a sea ice. So we have started organizing an expedition next year called Big Ice, Bear Ice Glaciers, using arts to mitigate climate crisis. So very quickly, Silver Earl will be with us next year on this expedition. It's the 90th birthday year. And to encourage people to come on board to give their voice to the Arctic. It can be a song, it can be a poetry, it can be a podcast, it can be a dance, to come on board to join us on this trip to give your voice to the Arctic. So you can find out more on their website or on the QR code that's on this picture. So very quickly, the temperature in the Arctic, as we see it, has basically increased 5 times more than the global average. And I was there last year, and one day it reached 17 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees north. That's unheard of. The average temperature that used to be, in the summer month is +1 to +4 maybe. To have a +17 and we walk around on the deck of a ship in t-shirt is unheard of. There's nowhere north for a polar bear to go, and that's the problem. And this bear cannot speak. We have to speak out for the bear. So the expedition narrative is that 100 global citizens on board from all walks of life, gender, diversity of gender, nationality, to give their voice and speak out for the bears, the ivory gull, the puffins, glaciers, sea ice that's threatened by climate change. So, as always, art and science are potent instrument for fostering care and in drawing emotions to changes. So, narrative we try to strive is to use the power of arts to inspire change and greater care of our environment. So we plan to lobby for full protection from the Arctic from extractions from the surface to the ocean floor, and full protection for all Arctic animals and the environment. So yeah, join us and to give your voice to the animals that cannot speak, and to inspire greater love for the ocean and for our environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. Wow. I mean, that was profoundly impactful. I feel like I'm going to be digesting that all night and onward. Thank you for the work you're doing, both to bring us the beauty of the ocean and to bring us the harder truths that are difficult to look at, but that affect us all, every being. So thank you. I know we can all just say how grateful we are that you are in the world right now. One thing, the QR code that you shared, a couple of people are putting in the chat that it didn't work. So maybe you can type the direct link into the chat if
Sure.
possible. I know
Sure.
people really want to find out more about this expedition, and I'm sure everyone will be going to check out more of your work.
And I also take people to your website, and his website is his name, Aw. So it's michaelaw.com. Is there a particular spot on the website where I could direct people where they could find more, or is there a particular place you'd like me to direct them to on your website, Michael?
To find out more about this expedition, all they need to go is to go to ogsociety.org, ogsociety.org, and there you'll find information about the expedition, about Big A's, ogsociety.org. That's it.
Okay.
And
Michael,
then you
thank
get a message from Sylvia Eyre as well on the opening page about the expedition. Yes.
The Arctic is warming
Oh,
3
there
to
it
5
is.
times faster.
That makes a
than
lot of
other
sense.
I'm hearing someone. Oh, it
That's
was a
because
video.
I pulled up the website, right? So
That's Sylvia.
Gotcha.
So
That's it.
there was Sylvia. We just met Sylvia. And so again, the website is ogsociety.org. And obviously there's a lot of very important information there. And you can see right here, upcoming expeditions. So I encourage everybody to subscribe to ogsociety.org and also to check out Michael's website, michaelaw.com.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. God bless you for the work that you're doing. You know, I have the greatest respect for activists because it's hard being an activist. It's painful what you have to deal with on a daily basis. And so thank you for hanging in there and doing the work you're doing to present what a lot of us don't want to know. We don't want to see it, but you're helping us to see it. And it's especially important that you are combining your exquisite art, your exquisite beauty with these images that, as painful as some of them are, that we need to see. So I really have the utmost respect for you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And I think one of the things that you've always gotten is the importance of weaving in all different styles of artist voices to really amplify this message. And Michael brings, as he was explaining, all different voices, poets, musicians, dancers, scientists on these expeditions so that everyone can weave together and bring forward awareness that touches the heart and touches at the soul and emotional level. And I think there's a huge, not just think, I know there's a huge difference between just hearing information and hearing information that comes through the doorway of the emotional channels. So just honoring that you have always understood that and continuously bring these powerful and potent messages to us through the doorway of the arts.
I want to read just one comment from our audience. Many have come in, but this one kind of captures it. This is from Ayada. She writes, "Dear Michael, thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing these vivid portrayals of what we are up against and what our animal relations are facing. This was both inspiring and a hard-hitting presentation. The agony and the ecstasy of these times. So many blessings to you and your critically important work." And I think that really sums up how we're all feeling.
Thank you. Yeah, it's what we leave behind for the next generations, and we are concerned of what the planet, the next generation will bear, the next 50 years, next 100 years, and that's how it's all about, caring for our future generations.
Thank you, Michael. Blessings. And we're about to share, well, I will be sharing the Song for the Ocean video that I filmed with Michael, and it was such an incredible journey. Michael, being the incredible being that he is, was able to find choruses, incredible choruses of youth in Manado, Indonesia, Singapore, and they actually learned Song for the Ocean, and we filmed with Sylvia Earle on a dive boat in the ocean, and got these youth choruses singing, and you'll just see a little bit of it all. So thank you, Michael, for believing in this project as well, and it's been such an honor to weave with you.
It's a privilege. It's my privilege. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, here we go. One moment. I'm gonna go right over here. Okay. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Okay, here we go. Children of the earth, I'm calling out. There's a mission for you and for me. You see, your mother, she has been suffering, and the truth is told beneath the sea. So raise your voices, sing like ocean waves crashing to the shore. This is our song for the ocean. Mother Earth, we are calling your name. We know you're taken for granted, but we stand here committed to change. The voices of children are singing towards tomorrow's horizon they gaze. Oh, this is our song for the ocean. Give us strength. Each and every voice will be counted
as each and every soul has a place, sharing on this beautiful planet. We need awareness every decision we make, so raise your voices, sing like thunder, strength in harmony. This is our song for the ocean, Mother Earth, we are calling your name. We know you're taken for granted, but we stand here committed to change. The voices of children are singing towards tomorrow's horizon they gaze. Oh, this is our song for the ocean. Give us This is our song for the ocean, Mother Earth, we are calling your name. We know you're taken for granted, but we stand here committed to change. We are voices of children are singing towards tomorrow's horizon they gaze. Oh, this is our song for the ocean. Give us strength. Oh, this is our song for the ocean. Give us strength. Give us strength.
Mm.
Oh, it's always good to see that video, and it just gives me hope. I just want to share this song is an example of hearing just a little whisper in your heart, in your soul. I was asked to go to St. Petersburg, Florida back in 2006 for the celebration when they had gathered 1 million signatures for to create the official World Ocean Day. That's today, the UN holiday. And I was asked to give a concert to close after a lot of speakers and intense information, just to really help to raise people's spirits about what can we do. And just about 2 weeks before I was going to go, I was already in my bed and I literally heard the chorus of that song. Oh, I just feel almost, I heard the chorus and I felt it just come into my being, and I got out of the bed and I didn't just say, oh, I'll do it later. I got out of my bed, I went into my little home studio, and I recorded that song all night. Exactly what you just heard is in large part the original version, and then through the years I added the chorus that, the chorus that you saw was actually who was singing, and we added them in. And now it's gone around the world. There's all different versions. It's been played at Sydney Opera House. There's symphonic versions, Braille versions, choral versions you can sing. There's a free backing track on Song for the Ocean, so you can do karaoke. You can share it in your communities. And the whole idea of the song is to get others singing and use the song as a vehicle to really get us together. So I just wanted to share that, because if you hear that little whisper that says, oh, or if you just hear something coming through, follow it. follow it. It can start as something very simple and then really lead to something that you never even imagined. And I never imagined that I would be weaving with an incredible, world-renowned ocean photographer like Michael. And here we were in Indonesia and Singapore working with youth and filming this video on a boat with Sylvia Earle. I mean, it's incredible. It's really incredible, this life and where it can take you.
You're not done yet. We're going to do it again. We're not finished yet.
We're not finished yet. It's still, right? Life is always
Work in
providing.
progress. Work in progress.
Yes, yes.
Thank
So,
you.
Thank you both so much. Thank you both for just your incredible dedication. You know, Kristen has been one of our favorite people, Michael, really from the beginning. We started 4 years ago. But really going deeper today and learning about your long-term commitment to the ocean, Kristen, and then bringing, I want you to know, Michael, when she and I were putting this show together, she said, Scott, say a prayer that we get Michael Awe. If we can just get Michael Awe. And so now I know why it was so important to her. And again, thank you both for your dedication. So much love. And it is important that we support these people. And so I want to remind everybody about how we can support Kristen. And believe me, supporting Kristen is to your benefit.
and I just want to say also, you can support me by going to songfortheocean.com and just singing. Just sing Song for the Ocean today and feel it in your heart. And that is enough support. But I'll pass it back to you. Thank you, Scott. You're always so generous and loving.
Well, I do want to encourage people to go to her website and do yourself a favor as well as Kristen. Go there. It's her name, KristenHoffman.com. Note there are 2 N's at the end of Hoffman. And go up to where it says payment and membership. And go to where it then says become a member. She has this wonderful Sonic Soul family. Now, you know, it's important for us to support our musical artists. And if you make a monthly pledge, then she knows that every month she's got a certain amount of money coming in through the monthly pledge. And you can come in for as little as $11 a month, or $33 or $77. And she provides so much, including once a month, a gathering of her Sonic Soul family, where she plays usually a couple of songs. We share. There's always a beautiful theme. And I look forward to it. I mean, it's in my calendar. Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, I'm there once a month. So join, and you're supporting Kristen, but you're also supporting yourself because you're getting more of a Kristen experience once a month. You get to be with this amazing, amazing soul. And since she did mention about songfortheocean.com, I quickly whipped it up. And I'll bring it up so people can see it that are watching on Facebook. Songfortheocean.com. That's where you can play the video, the YouTube video we just watched, learn about it and perform it. Here are the lyrics. Here's the chorus. Here's the story.
Right above the lyrics, you see those links, and you can download all different arrangements: choral 4-part, choral unison, with a backing track. If you have a little symphony that you're a part of, or a big symphony, there's a symphonic version, and you can learn more about the project as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Kristen. It's been a beautiful, beautiful evening. We still got more, but I also I am releasing Kristen to her beloved, who is waiting in the wings. So I know that this is your first vacation in 5 years. So
my first I'm always traveling around the world sharing music. However, my partner and I, this is actually the first time we've gone away with the purpose of actually taking a little vacation and resting and doing some, resting ideally for 5 days. And thank you, Scott. It's been such an honor to be here. I'm going to be on for a bit more until he gets back, but such a blessing to be here with everyone.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And just want to let people know that we still have a lot left. We're going to have another song with Allison Eden. We've got a very special KES group, Healing with Maggie. Maggie with us. We've still got Global Peace Tribe announcements. We're going to have a special visit with Ellie, one of our Global Peace Tribers. But right now, I want to turn our attention to another Global Peace Tribe family member, which is Janice Hall. And Janice is someone who does wonderful, wonderful work. A lot of you are also involved with Unity Earth, come to their weekly meetings on Wednesdays. So you usually see Janice there. And Janice, I'd love for you to share a little bit about what you've got.
Oh, hello. Okay, sorry if you hear some noise. I'm here with my 94-year-old mother, about to be 95, and she's just having milk and cookies before bed. So I'm grateful to be here. What an extraordinary show. I've just feel the waters of my body connected to all of the waters of the planet and the cosmic waters, because our planetary waters came from the star seeds to begin with. And I happen to be sitting on top of Tahitiway, which is Split Rock Mountain for those of you who live in New York State. But the Ramapo Muncie Lenape name for this is Tahitiway, which means the gate that opens. It's a portal. And I sit above the Hudson River, which is an estuary. And I think of Kahlil Gibran and his poem, "The River Cannot Go Back." And the excerpt from it that says, "The river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, but becoming the ocean." And so this Hudson River right here is one of the most historic rivers to the genesis of the United States and its relationship to the Ramapo Lenape Muncie tribe. And so I want to share an event, if I can share the screen momentarily, but let me give you a snippet, which I'll do just in a second, but a snippet of an American history that you may not know. The Ramapo Muncie Lenape lived originally, they were an agricultural nation, and they lived throughout Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, up to the Adirondack Mountains. And when the Europeans came, they pushed them closer and closer together and off their land. But when George Washington came to the area, he asked the chiefs to go atop Tahitiway and see if he could use the Ramapo Pass, which goes from the Ramapo Mountains to the Hudson River, for his continental troops. And the chiefs said yes, because they seemed to share dreams of freedom and sovereignty at the time. And so the chiefs allowed George Washington to station 5,000 French troops to ward off the British and their supply lines. And they also allowed the Continental Army to use their iron deposits for the first cannonballs and for the very famous chain link that went across the Hudson River to stop the British. And the very first U.S. Capitol Dome was made with Ramapo iron. The Ramapos were the peacemakers of many of the Native American nations in the Northeast. And what they also did was they rescued, liberated, however you want to call it, the slaves, many of the slaves off of the Dutch slave ships going up the Hudson River. And what has recently been discovered was the remnants of an African village on Ramapo land. And I tell you all this because the Ramapo have been denied federal recognition. And according to their documented history, there would be no New York, no New Jersey, or no United States as we know it today without the assistance of the Ramapo Muncie Lenape Nation. They are experiencing at the moment a quiet cultural genocide, extremely disturbing, with their land being taken and turned into condos and their water being polluted and their rivers being contaminated. The Ford plant has contaminated one of the most gorgeous areas, and generations are still feeling it. So what I'm involved with, if I can I share the screen real briefly?
Yes, you can. You have screen
Okay,
sharing.
this would give you, ooh, why is this not? Oh, the show all windows thing. Here we go. Aha. So we are on a pathway to federal recognition for the first time. In fact, the most recent time that they tried to get federally recognized, they were denied recognition because Donald Trump wanted to build casinos on their land, and he got in the way of their federal recognition. And so these are the most extraordinary Ramapo women, and this is Chief Dwayne Perry, who's been on your show before. And right now, from June 19th to the 22nd, we're holding a cultural heritage festival on a pathway to federal recognition. So I just want to share, if anybody is in the New York State area, we would welcome them to come. This is Wednesday, the 19th of June, which is also Juneteenth. And Akoye Yende Mawalong, and any of you who are in North Jersey may know the town of Mawa. It means the place where the people gather. And so we are having a cultural heritage festival, and we will have honored dignitaries from the United Nations, the UN Committee on Transatlantic Slavery, the Congressional Black Caucus, potentially Antonio Guterres as assistant, and numerous other dignitaries and foreign affairs from Africa. And then on with performers from all over the world, because they are part of their culture is really to embrace other cultures, and always has been. So we are showcasing a lot of different whoopsie-doo performers from different countries that night, including a Grammy artist, and a closing ceremony by their women chief, Chief Carla Alexander. And then this is extraordinary here, because this is a conference that's going to happen at Ramapo College in Mahwah, New Jersey, which is on Ramapo land. I grew up in Ramsey, New Jersey, 7 miles from Split Rock Mountain. I grew up on Ramapo land. So I feel my dharma is to assist them in getting their land back. So we will be bringing together these historians, geologists, archaeologists, some of whom have been studying Ramapo history for over 40 years. And they will come together for the first time, all of the different pieces of Ramapo history from the early culture throughout the Northeast, and how it's been tracked geologically, where they've had different encampments and where they've lived before, to the way that they've been able to document their work in the genesis of the United States with the Continental Army, to their African heritage, and how they allowed these Africans to live and have their own village within and have their own culture within the culture of the Ramapo. So they allowed them to live as they live, while surrounding them and supporting them. And to this day, they are doing that. Another piece is the Brooks School, which is the first, one of the first 2 desegregated schools on the East Coast, which was led by a Ramapo woman who worked with Thurgood Marshall. So there's a zillion little pieces of history nobody knows. And then many of you know Linda Bjork, and she and Chief and a number of other tribal members will be leading the Global Unity boy, I got marbles in my mouth, summer solstice ceremony. And interestingly, usually the solstice is on the 20th. This is the earliest the solstice has been since George Washington was president. So for me, it's very interesting that this is sort of cycling back during this week where we're honoring on all these different pieces of land, the Ramapo heritage. And then we'll have the next day at Brook Native American Church, which is at risk of being turned into condos. They will serve us a picnic. And then on Saturday, we will have an interfaith procession. And then as well, we'll have a World Indigenous Folk Music concert. So it's a week, it's 4 days of participating on a lot of different pieces of Ramapo land. And I'm going to put my email in the chat so that you can contact me if you want more information. We do need to raise some more money for these events because the Ramapo elders have now approved that this work that we're doing is good work and we're doing it in a good way. And they want to come to the dinner and we can't afford to bring them yet. So we're raising money for 100 Ramapo members to join and to bring, for instance, a 96-year-old elder from several states away. So I'll put my name in the chat if you want to know more and help contribute to this cause of really raising up this tribe that has done so much for our country and has been lost in history. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you. And there's a few questions that people
Ah.
ask in the chat box, but maybe you can answer them in the chat, just because we're running a little bit
No,
late.
they weren't, but they were all very friendly. They were the peacemakers amongst many of those nations. But they were out anyway. I'll answer in the chat. So
Sure.
thank you for letting me share that. And so the Hudson River going into the Atlantic Ocean is my contribution, the estuary going back and forth, bringing us in to the ocean of life. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you, Janice, for the wonderful work you're doing. Thank you so much. Kristen is still here, and Kristen does not live that far away from there. So, Kristen, anything you want to share?
I actually live on Munsee Lenape land. Sorry, I had my mic down. Yes, my home is on Munsee Lenape land, and every day I just feel the depth of this land, and I'm grateful that Janice, that you are helping us to reconnect at this time. It's such an important time to listen to the land and listen to the Indigenous voices who have been stewards of this land for so many eons now, and really honor those voices, honor the connection that we share rather than, it's just been devastating, the history.
If I could say one more thing, please, and that all of a sudden I just drew a blank. What was I going to say? Oh, now I just, that's just so weird.
That's okay.
It's okay, Janice. We love you so much.
We love you. Pop it in the chat box. Put it in
Oh,
the
yes,
chat
it's very important. It is very important to show you how you can be an ally. This Split Rock Mountain, and this is at the top of the mountain where you could see the Hudson River, but the actual Split Rock, which is a portal that I've been taken into, which is another story altogether. This was basically a bastardized piece of land. And I know that when I went to high school, the kids would go up there and they would drink and drug. And I wasn't perfect, but I didn't do that. And the Ku Klux Klan would go up there and they would burn crosses up there. And 2 years ago, the Kogi were told by their mountain that they had to go basically clean up the mountain. So they came for a 5-day ceremony because their mountain told them that Tahitiway needed to be cleansed. So they did a 5-day cleansing, and I was blessed to be invited for 2 hours one morning and bring some of my Aboriginal relatives, including Ben, got to come in. And this mountain was returned by the New Jersey Conservancy, the Doris Duke Foundation, and people who cared bought it back from the New York sewer system. So there are treasured, sacred pieces of land that we need to concentrate on and understand, because the land is speaking and speaking through many of our Indigenous people. And when we listen, we too can hear.
Oh, powerful.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Janice. That is a powerful message. When we listen, it is all about listening and making that space to truly listen. When you listen to the land, messages do come they do come. So making a practice of listening to the land, listening to the oceans, I think that can be a daily practice that we start to bring into our lives. Thank you, Janice.
Just like you listened and got out of bed and wrote the song, right? So may we all continue in our awakening world to listen to the land, listen to those quiet voices more and more.
Yes.
And now we get to listen to Alice.
Woohoo!
And after everything we saw with Michael and the video and listening to Janice, this is a good time for us to digest all of this information. And Allison, I'm so grateful to have you with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for spreading such important awareness and shedding lights on what needs healing and help, and giving a voice to that which wouldn't have one otherwise. You're not going to get this information anywhere else. I don't think. It's pretty incredible, and I'm humbled. So thank you so much. I thought we'd do a few moments of the Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra, the mantra of light, to hold space for the healing on this planet, to the land, to the oceans, those polar bears, and just all the beings on our planet, and ourselves included. We're all in this healing process together. So this is the Gayatri Mantra, the mantra of light, and it means earth, space, heavens. We meditate on the radiant source of light, and it also calls in the goddess Gayatri, who when we ask for her help, she can help us move through some of these hindrances in the material planes and the spiritual world as well. So allow this to be your prayer and your blessing for all the issues that were brought up tonight and all that needs our love and support. Thank you so much. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. And if that's too much of a mouthful, just Om or breathe or meditate, send your intentions out.
Thank you, Allison.
Sure. Blessings to the oceans, blessing to this land. To all beings, namaste. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Allison. Thank you. It's always wonderful when we have a new friend coming into the Global Peace Tribe. And everybody, you can learn more about her by going to her website. Again, it's her name, AllisonEaton.com. AllisonEaton.com. And again, I'll put it into the chat box where you can learn all about it. And Allison, tell us a little bit about the services that you provide to people. I see on your card all these wonderful things you do: Reiki, restorative yoga, chakra balancing. What are some of the wonderful ways you can be of support to some of our Global Peace Tribe audience?
Yes, thank you. So I am a teacher of Reiki healing, levels 1, 2, 3, and master. I offer Reiki master teacher trainings and retreats. There's 6 nights somewhere beautiful in the world, usually by an ocean. The next one is in Baja, Mexico. Actually, there's one in Bali before Baja, Mexico. I also offer Akashic Records practitioner training, very similar style, retreat style, and one-on-one healing sessions, which is a blend. It's an intuitive session, a blend of Reiki healing, Akashic Records, and channeling the guides for support, and music as well. I'll be at Bhakti Fest coming up the end of this summer in September, and hopefully you will all be able to join us. It's such a beautiful and transformational, heart-opening retreat or training festival. Very multi-dimensional. We've got a lot of different avenues, but it's all about really just like connecting with the divine source within us and using all these different beautiful modalities and healing modalities to help us along our spiritual awakening journey and help others along the path as well. So thank you so much for this time, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing, Scott and Kristen, and all the amazing people tonight who shared, and all of the guests as well. Thank you so much for holding these intentions of love on this planet. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Allison. And actually, that's a perfect segue because she mentioned Bhakti Fest. And we always do, we work with Bhakti Fest every year. And we're going to be doing a whole entire show with some of the favorite Bhakti Fest artists. Because we are close friends with them, they are giving us a very special deal. I just put it into the chat box, 10% off on all the different tickets. And if you take a look in the chat box, you'll see our special Global Peace Tribe link. Bhakti Fest this year is the last weekend of September. That's September 27th through the 29th. Once again, it's out in Joshua Tree. And so many of our favorite musical artists will be there, like Larissa Stowe. So definitely make sure, and of course, Allison, who we just met. So plan on coming to Bhakti Fest. And make sure you use the link, which I put into the chat box. For those of you watching on Facebook, send me a message. You can send me a message on Facebook. Just use a direct message on Facebook Messenger, and I'll send you the link. Or even better, join the Global Peace Tribe. That's where all the action is happening. And it's easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. Join us. You'll get all the Zoom room links to all of our shows all the way through the end of September. In fact, our last weekend of this season will be the weekend that we're at the Bhakti Fest. So come and join us. And then you get all the links, you get the specials. Now is a good time to join the Global Peace Tribe. And of course, all the people that are in our Zoom room right now are members, subscribers of Global Peace Tribe. Thank you. We love you very, very much. Also, we have launched a new film series. In fact, we had one of those films last night. We're currently doing these movies on Friday nights. And this is, again, free for all of our subscribers. And so in addition to every Wednesday night and Saturday night when we have The Awakening World at 6 o'clock Pacific time, we now have added a film series night every Friday night at 7 o'clock Pacific time. So, and when you join, you'll get an email every week that tells you about what's coming up, our upcoming shows, our upcoming events, our upcoming films. And we're now beginning to put some energy into creating a retreat as well. We will have a retreat probably in autumn. So now's a good time to join the Global Peace Tribe, because there's a lot of wonderful things happening. And it's a really beautiful group of people. The people that, well, you've seen some of them, obviously, Kristen, Piper, there's so much love. And come and join the tribe. And we really are global. We have people from all over the world. Like right now, we've got people from Australia, Ecuador, North America. So it's pretty exciting, and all over. Well, there's one thing we're missing. We've had an amazing show, but have you noticed that there's something very special that's a huge part of the Global Peace Tribe that we haven't experienced yet? Yep, Piper called it. It's Omashar time.
Oh, my Shar. Oh, my Shar.
Woo!
Oh my star, oh my star.
Oh, our star.
Hey,
Oh,
look.
our star.
I'm ready to swim.
Ocean Mashar.
Ocean Mashar.
Ocean Omashar. We love you, Omashar.
Thank you. All right. What do you see when you're alone? What do you feel when you are by yourself? How could it be that you are here? Isn't it strange the way things are? Look at the river flowing by. Look at the colors of the butterfly. How do you feel about your life? Isn't it strange the way things are? Like a dolphin in the ocean, I can hear you calling me. Come on and you say the water's fine. I have come to set you free. You have never been alone, my friend. I was just a thought away. There's a deeper love that's holding you, and it's here to lead the way. La da dum da. Now that you see you're not alone, and there is no such thing as by yourself, and there is a hand that's lifting you into the presence of yourself. Life is a tale that never ends, and there is a purpose to each heart that beats, and you are the river flowing by. You are the colors of the butterfly. Dolphin in the ocean, the water's fine, I have come to set you free. You have never been alone, my friend. I was just a thought away. And there's a deeper love that's holding you, and it's here to lead the way. La da da da.
Thank you so much, Omastar.
Woo!
Omastar, Globalstar, all the different names. Let's give him a lot of love and a lot of twinkling.
Ocean Shar.
Ocean Star, Ocean Star.
I one of the dreams that I had was that Casey would dance to this song,
Oh,
and I just witnessed it. And along with Kristen and everyone else, what a symphony! Thank you.
You know, as I love putting the spotlight on everybody. And but it's hard because once I was on Casey, I mean, here we have this amazing professional dancer, right? So
Right?
it's like, oh, what do I stay on Casey? But I want to show everybody else, you know.
You did perfectly. That was brilliant.
Oh, good, good, good. And we got to see Piper Dillums making love to her dog.
I know, right? That was a really
Scott.
precious, well, loving it.
Oh.
And that was very precious. Thank you.
It was beautiful. It was amazing. Look, I'm a huge dog lover.
Me
Mine
too.
right here. So
Exactly.
speaking of Piper, I just want to remind everybody one more time, for those of you who came in a little bit late, and thank you to all the people that have donated to her today, Morgine, Deirdre, Pam, Judith, and others. So thank you. Let's support Piper. It's so important. Anything, $5, $50, even small donations mean a lot. So I'm going to again put the link into the chat box. I've also posted it on my Facebook page. Let's support our beloved Piper. We love you so much, Piper. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm officially signing off, Scott and beloveds. I want to just say thank you one last time before I go into the night. And thank you for being a part of World Ocean Day with me, and together as one family. I really feel that waves of beautiful love and change have moved out into the ethers and have been felt under the oceans. And may we just continue these prayers and these inspirational times of coming together and weaving together. They're just so important that we keep working together in this way and loving together and dancing together in this way. This is where change lives. This is where change happens. So thank you, Scott, for all you do. Thank you to all of the incredible speakers and guests tonight, and to the whole Global Peace Tribe family. It's just such an honor to be here and celebrating the oceans together today. Love you all so much.
Good night, Kristen, and give Troy our love. A lot of people sending hugs to Troy. Good night, my friend.
Blessings.
But wait, there's more. We're going to hear from our friend Ellie a little bit about her work with the oceans. And then we've got Maggie Rose Lacosta is going to conclude our evening with a beautiful KES group healing. So I actually received a message from Ellie today saying, Scott, did you know that I work with the oceans too? And I didn't know that. If she had told me, I apologize. 68 years old, I can't remember everything. But I'm going to give Ellie a couple of minutes to share a little bit about the wonderful work she's been doing.
Thanks, Scott. It's nice to be here and see everyone. It's a very, very moving program tonight. Very, very moving. I guess what I would like to share is that I I first started working with the ocean when I was actually renting a small house right on the ocean in Situate, Massachusetts. And one of my cats let me know that he was in distress over the distress that he could feel the whales were under. And he asked me to start working with them. And so, of course, I said yes. And the first session that I did, now, whether I'm working with an animal or the environment, like the ocean, I use this pretty much the same process that I do with human clients. And it's a technique that I've developed over the last 33 years. And so the first clearing that I did on the ocean, and this was the Atlantic Ocean, because I was in New England at the time, what came up to be cleared was dirty ocean. And then the imprint that I intuited that was needed the most was clean ocean. So first I'll clear the issue, the most important issue, and then I'll do an energetic imprint at the end for, I guess an analogy would be the salve that is needed. So for example, if it was a person and they were hopeless, I would clear hopeless, and then I might imprint them with being hopeful at the end, just as an example. So for the ocean, it was dirty ocean, and then the imprint was clean ocean. The next session, what came up was toxins in the Atlantic Ocean. And so I did a clearing on those, and then the imprint again was clean ocean. The third session was toxic ocean, and the imprint that I did was balanced pH and neutral ocean. We don't really have time to go into it, how I do what I do. But just to move along, the next issue that I started working with the whales directly and realized that they didn't know that boats and ships were dangerous. So I communicated with them as a group, and I realized that not only did they not know that they were dangerous, but whales could not hear boats. They couldn't hear the motors, but they could feel the vibration. And so I worked with them to teach them that yes, boats are dangerous, and to keep their, to be aware when they feel the vibration of a boat, to go either in the opposite direction or to dive deeply down until the boat would pass. Dolphins can hear the motors, but whales can't. So just to distinguish that, I did a number of clearings with the whales, and also cleared the, there was a lot of plastic and garbage that they had ingested. Most of them had ingested, and I was able to decrease the internal plastic from about 65% among them down to 35%, and then eventually down to 10 to 15%. So what's hard for me is that this was a few years ago, and it's hard to keep up with, it's like I can clean the ocean, I can clean the whales, but until something significant is done to stop the pollution from getting into the ocean and getting into the whales, I can't keep up with it. And so that's a little bit of, what's difficult for me about this work. I also did some work with the turtles, the sea turtles, and 5 out of 10 had ingested plastic. I'm sure it's more than that now. This was about 5 or 6 years ago. And I worked with the turtles as a group. And what I intuited that needed to be cleared first was actually suffocation from plastic. The imprint that I did was clear lungs. And then one of the healings that I did on the ocean, you know, people focus on the plastics themselves, but they don't realize that there are harmful gases that the plastics are giving off in the ocean. And so that came up during 1 or 2 of the sessions. And so what I did was decrease the harmful gases being given off by the plastics in the ocean. Another aspect of my work was working with fishermen, whale watch boats, and people who were littering. Now, I don't work with them in person. I worked with them remotely. And so what I do is I tune in, you know, where am I most needed now? You know, if I have some time to do a session. And so when I was guided to work with the raising the consciousness of the people, at least some of the people who were contributing to the trash in the ocean, and you know, the fishermen leaving their ropes and lines and fishing hooks and all the fishing stuff in there. I was guided to work with them collectively, remotely, and unconsciously. So does that make sense? I don't have to be working with a person or with an animal to make a difference and to be able to have a significant impact. So yeah, I could give one more. You want me to give one more example of a whale that I worked with?
Well, you know, I think what's important, Ellie, is you're reminding us that people can contribute through prayer, through holding highest vision. I recognize that you have these beautiful psychic gifts and that you're able to do a lot of healing work remotely, which is beautiful. But for people that don't necessarily have those gifts, holding the highest vision and prayer is powerful.
Yes.
And as I said, I wanted to give you a moment to just acknowledge you and your wonderful work, and thank you for being such a precious part of our Global Peace Tribe. And thank you for your dedication to our planet and for who you are. And thank you. And
thank you.
Likewise, in a way, Ellie represents many of you that, you know, we don't necessarily feature, but who are all doing your part. And I recognize that just about everybody probably watching this show right now contributes in some way to our planet, because that's what makes you a Global Peace Triber. So thank you, Ellie. God bless you so much. And I appreciate you. Well, I want to thank Maggie for hanging in there, because our show, as Kristen predicted, she said, Scott, it always goes over, and it did. But we are blessed because we get to conclude this amazing show with Maggie Rose LaCosta. Maggie, of course, is one of our favorite KES group healers. I just have spent a lot of time up in Ashland, so it's been really wonderful being with Maggie in person. And Maggie, we've had a really powerful show. I know you saw the last, I think, hour of it. Music, videos, photography, all celebrating water, and especially today's World Oceans Day. So welcome back. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Scott. And thank you everyone who contributed to this beautiful show, as it is so important and the ocean is so near and dear to my heart. So it's just really beautiful to see these earth warriors that are doing, you know, things, whether it's energetically or physically. It's just gives such hope for this earth. So thank you.
Of course, most of our Zoom roomers are familiar with KES group healing now, but we always have new people watching, mostly on Facebook and YouTube. Can you give a brief introduction and then take it away, Maggie?
Yes, thank you, Scott. So since we are working with the ocean today, I was thinking we could do a KES session based on our emotional body and the waters in the body. And so together, we are going to co-create a healing space to go into the waters of our body. And so KES stands for the Christic Energy System, just really short. It can go into many different levels and layers of the field, physical aches, and different, really a whole array of what you need, what anyone wants to work on energetically and physically. And the main thing is that it works with the 12 main karmas of the soul. And so anytime you're going through something, it's usually related to these 12 pinpoints that we have learned to help clear from the physical body, the energetic bodies, and so forth. And so since it was a beautiful show on waters, I think it would be best to dive into the waters of our body. And so the emotional reactions we have in life are based off of our conditional programs. And any time that we have a negative experience, it can stay lodged in our cellular memory. And so not always, but there can be unconscious trauma in the body from, something as little from childhood or something that may have happened when you're older and it hurts. And so if we don't clear these traumas from the body and the emotional body, we attract the same situations over and over again until we can let that emotion go or that causal conditioning go and learn that karmic lesson. And so if you've ever seen the snake that's eating its tail, that stands for it can represent our nodal system. And so all energy wants to do is complete itself. And if we have a karmic knot, it can be like an energetic blockage in the riverets in our body. And so the snake eating its tail is when the karmic loop has finally completed itself. And then we don't attract those situations again. So that is a little word blurb for you. And we can just dive straight into a meditation. And I know that it is getting late, so I will keep this very brief. It will be an interactive meditation today. And so together we will co-create a healing if you are open for it. And so with that, I will just invite you to find a comfy location. You can lay down, you can turn your video off, you can just really allow yourself to relax for the next 20 minutes. And we will get started. And so if you're sitting up, I invite you to have a straight spine. If you're laying down, I invite you to just get into a nice Shavasana position. And let's just take a deep belly breath together. And then open mouth exhale. And call all parts of yourself to be here and now. Moving your awareness down to your heart space. Leaving the mental field, any to-do lists, and just coming down into the heart. Breathing gently and deep. And let's just set up a temple space. And so I want you to visualize a platform of light below you and a temple space of light above you. And call forth your guides, your higher self, assistance from the heavenly realms, overlit by our Holy Mother, Holy Father God. And setting the intention for any aspects of our soul to come online, for any and all healing to occur, for the highest good of all involved. And we consecrate this space in a white wall of flame. And this white wall of flame is a protective flame that will also help transmute anything that may come up during this session. And so I'm going to place a Christic spiral at the bottom of your feet. And I want you to just go in deep into your cells, into the waters of your body, and become very aware of all your cells as we place this golden light around you. And it's going to go up through your legs, through your calves, through your knees, through your hips. Feel your hips relax, feel your legs relax, feel your torso relax, your stomach relax. All the way through your lungs, relaxing the lungs. And then all the way to your throat, your forehead, feeling your jaw relax, your forehead relax, and feeling your crown relax. As we go through the body, just invite relaxation into yourselves. Placing a smile on your heart. And as we work with the waters of our body, I want you to tune in with how the waters of your body are doing. And now I want you to tune in to the last week you had. And I would invite you to bring up any emotional upset you may have had. It could have been a trigger, a conversation, something that made you sad. And I invite you to bring up that situation. And as I said in the beginning, any emotion that is not transmuted can be trapped in the body, trapped in the emotional body. And so we're going to use this process together to alchemize any trapped feelings, any trapped or unresolved pain. And then you can do this anytime you have a trigger or an upset. This is a tool for you to use. And so once you have that in your mind's eye, see where exactly you feel it in your body. Notice if it's more in your throat, your stomach, your heart. It might be in multiple places. And the key is to reverse this energy. And so once you have that in your mind's eye, we're going to bring that up and out and transmute it and reshift the pattern in the body and stabilize the body, stabilize the cells and the genetic coding. And so we'll work with an opalescent ray for help. And we're going to call forth this opalescent energy. And as you feel that in the body, you're going to call forth the equal and opposite. And we're going to play with even reimagining how you respond to it. So as you bring it up in your body, we work with the opalescent ray. To bring it into balance and harmony. And say in your mind's eyes, I now bring this to balance and harmony. And I bring it through the vertical power column. Up and out of the emotional body, cleansing the emotional cells, the waters of the body. This upset, whatever it is no longer serving. And I bring it up and out with forgiveness. And I forgive this aspect of myself that held this. And I bring it up to the heart for ultimate transmutation. Feeling the energy move in your body. And now visualize in your mind's eye how you would like to see that situation, how you would like to see yourself respond. Of course, we cannot change others, but we can change how we react. Whether it's simply just observing the moment, or if it's choosing a more loving response in the moment, or if it's forgiving that person so we don't have that trapped energy. Forgive. Receive all the love that you are. And we're going to see a blue golden light above your crown. And this blueprint holds a higher dimensional aspect of you, an aspect of your higher self that is ready to come down. And I want you to see that blueprint and see that aspect for yourself. And when you're ready and you see that aspect of your higher self, it could be an aspect of you that is more calm, an aspect of you that is more loving, an aspect of you that responds with more mastery, with more maturity in each and every moment. Bring that down through your crown and feel that coming down through your crown and going into your heart. And expand that blueprint, gold print, out into your field and see this golden light around you in your body. And allow 1 to 2 minutes for it to settle. And allow this higher aspect to be braided into your being with your permission, with your co-creation. And feel what that feels like in this moment, in this present moment. I respond in peace. I respond in grace. And I respond in love. And I choose this aspect of me to be embodied here and now. Feel the waters of your body illuminated with this golden light. Feel your heart smile. Take a few more breaths, asking for any guidance, any last messages, any images from your guides to receive. If you would like, you can place your palms up. Receive. Ask to receive God's grace. Let it shower upon you. And when you are ready, bring a gentle smile to your face. Take a deep breath into your heart and gently open your eyes, giving thanks and gratitude to our guides, the Holy Mother, Holy Father, all guardians that may have assisted in the space, the elements, the water. We thank you, we honor you, and we now seal this container. And so it is. If you would like to stay in that, please do. Please just continue to close your eyes and receive. And those who are ready, please come out gently and just notice how your body feels. If there's been any energetic shifts. And thank you so much, Scott. Wishing everyone such a beautiful evening.
Want to invite people to put into the chat box any experience they might have had. And you can learn more about Maggie by going to her website, which is, you'll find it at maggierosealchemy.com. maggierosealchemy.com. And that's where you can learn all about the energy healing work that she does. Maggie, are you currently seeing clients online? Are you doing online work with clients
Yes,
at this time?
I'm actually only doing online work. So
Okay.
thank you, Scott, for sharing. And yes, that's just a mini session of what can be done. It's actually, I do prefer individual sessions sometimes so that we can track exactly what's going on and dive deeper, and group containers are a bit more broad and general.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually it comes up both ways. You can also get to it by christiclight.com. I guess it's both ways, yeah. So Maggie, thank you so much. You know, I
Yes.
want to just say I have the good fortune of knowing Maggie, and she's one of the most advanced beings I know, because she's just always present, always in a state of joy, even when things are hard, even when things are challenging. There still is just a love of life that you exude, Maggie. And it's kind of a cliche, but you are truly wise beyond your years. So
Oh, thank
thank
you so much, Scott. I feel your heart and love you so much.
you. Thank you so much for being with us on Saturday night and concluding what's been an extraordinary, really a beautiful evening tonight. And I love that we still have 40 of our Global Peace Tribers with us. So thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Global Peace Tribe family. We'll see you on Wednesday night. Wednesday night, we're going to have Zenka Caro and two new friends, women who are all about conscious business. We'll be learning about conscious business practices this Wednesday night. Maggie, much love to you. Give my love to everybody up in Ashland, and I'll talk to you
So
soon.
much love.
Good night,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone. Good night.
Going to go to gallery view one last time, where we can all twinkle and look at all of our friends that are still there. Casey and Ellie and Lynn and Leaf and Piper Dellums and Ayada and Mark Denisovsky and Omashar and Connie and Andrew and Christy and George and Dia and Richard and Charlotte. And if I didn't say your name, I apologize. But big love to each and every one of you. Take care, everybody. Good night, and we'll see you all